the last 6 months to come to this country, and they've refused me entry into this country. It's just so wrong. I've done nothing wrong except for trying to come to this country.
Officer Lisa Lee has stopped a Canadian woman who has come to the UK for 2 weeks to visit a British man she met on the internet.
The reason we've got concerns is that she's told us that the gentleman she's coming to see has paid for her ticket. They've never met. She's only got $10 in cash. No real idea what she wants to do in the UK. And she is on quite a lot of medication for various medical complaints that she claims to have. So I need to get that checked out before I can decide whether or not she's allowed to have any. Lexi? Lexi? Can you come over? I understand from my colleague you're taking certain tablets at the moment. Yeah. Okay. Can I please have them? I need to show them to our doctor.
I have stage 4 malignant melanoma.
Okay. So you're on tablets for that?
Yeah.
Okay. What else are you taking?
I take 4 10-milligram Valiums a day.
Okay. Do you need anything at the moment? Any of your tablets at the moment?
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
If it's all right with you, I'll take the medication to the doctor here.
Yeah.
So you rattle when you walk then, yeah? The amount you have to take. All right.
Can I just say something?
Sure.
I think it's really wrong that your airport detains people who are mostly colored and people who look different.
Listen, let me tell you something. Okay, we don't treat...
No, you're not listening to me first. Let me
Okay,
explain.
all right.
So let me explain to you, that's wrong.
Okay, let me
And
explain
that's
to you why that
ignorant.
might be the case and why you might see it like that, okay? The reason being that any of these people are here is because we have an immigration issue with them. It doesn't matter what colour they are, what gender they are, we don't care. We're interested in their immigration status and that's it. All right, let me do this. I'll be as quick as I can, okay? And then I'll come back and speak to you and we'll try and get this done as quickly as we can, all right? I've just been in to see our port doctor just to get the lady's medication checked out. There's no specific medication in what we have that's given to cancer patients specifically for melanoma. And the doctor said that it's a terminal illness, but that there's no prognosis in terms of length of life. It could be a year, it could be 5. He said, you know, provided she's okay, then she's fit to be detained, no problem, and we'll just crack on with it as we would any other person.
The first job is to contact the man she met on the internet. He's downstairs waiting to meet her. Can he explain how she will get by in London for 2 weeks on just $10?
How long have you known each other, sir? So you met online. He has paid for her ticket. He runs his own business. He said, I'm pretty well off. She's just come in to spend time with me. We're going to go around London. We're going to do lots of partying. That's what I like to do. So we need to speak to her really now and get her side of the story. Why have you come to the UK?
Because I got a divorce with my husband. In Canada, it's legal to get married to transgendered. The whole time I'd been talking to Mike, but we were just friends. As soon as he heard I was divorced, he just said, come to London. He said, London's a really great place and you'll be happy.
And what will you do whilst you're in the UK?
We're gonna go fishing apparently. And then we're gonna do heroin, cocaine, no, just joking. Do the touristy thing. Try to see the Queen and hit her with a car aerial.
Why?
Because that'd be something to say that you did. And I'm gonna open a brothel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a small one.
Small one. How many people are you going to employ?
I don't know, well, I was thinking maybe you should come work.
I don't think I'd earn you much money.
Trust me.
I'm flattered, but
I'll doll you up. I'll doll you up.
One of my concerns is your health, okay? Do you have, like, healthcare, travel insurance for whilst you're here?
Like my cancer and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about me.
But you told me it was stage 4. That's quite serious,
Yeah.
right?
Stage 4, yeah. But they cut most of it out of my back, and they cut out like a really good tattoo too. Look.
Okay, yeah, I see. All right. Right, there you go. I'll come back when I've spoken to my chief, okay?
Okay, thank you.
So they didn't need the gloves, no problem.
No. But this your boss, right?
She's my big boss.
Yeah. We were talking in the office, and she told me that I need to do a prostate exam on me.
I didn't.
Don't
For health reasons.
My God. Well, that was the most interesting interview I've ever done. That's quite amusing. I'm sure she was just trying to distract me from asking all the questions because she was quite a character. Everything she says in terms of her reasons for visiting. I mean, you know, who am I to say that somebody shouldn't come and visit their internet friend? You know, it's more and more common these days. Let's go and see what my chief says. He's going to love me.
Before making a final decision, Officer Lee must run it past her chief.
Overall, I mean, if you're satisfied that she meets the immigration...
I'm pretty certain she does, and I do believe, I mean, she said, I want to go home. I believe she has the intention to return.
So on balance, you're happy to...
On balance, I think we'll land. I'll go and let her know, because I told her that I'd let her know as soon as I knew, so that she could be prepared. Okay, there's good news.
And bad news?
No, just good news. You're going to be granted entry. We're going to give you a stamp in your passport for a couple of weeks to come and visit Mike.
Yeah.
Come on then, my dear.
I hate the UK. But she was very nice. It was fun.
At last, Officer Lee can let her passenger cross the border to meet her internet friend for the first time.
At the end of the day, we have to be satisfied of certain things. One of them is that she's going to have somebody look after her, or that she can look after herself while she's here, for money, somewhere to live. That was all fine. That she's going to leave the UK. I'm happy. It was a good job, good decision. Let's hope she has fun. I expect she will. Watch out for her.
At Heathrow, a 41-year-old Australian claiming to be a tourist has been stopped at passport control. Officer Devinder Tung is suspicious because the woman has limited funds and can't tell him what she wants to do while on holiday. The passenger is a chef, and Officer Tung believes she may intend to work in Britain. What she's carrying in her luggage raises suspicions further.
She's just informed me that she's got some special luggage that she's checked in, which she said were her chef knives. Now, when asked why she needed them, she said she was going to do some cooking for her uncle. Is that all the baggage that you have at the moment?
Yeah, except my knives are in the fridge.
Your knives are in the fridge. Okay, we'll go and grab your knives. Okay, I'm just going to have to take this away from you as well, just whilst we're conducting our inquiries, okay? I can't let you have this, and then I'll return it back to you afterwards, okay?
Officer Tung must search all the woman's bags to find out if she is a genuine tourist. In with her laptop, he discovers several copies of the woman's CV.
We also have copies of her educational certificates with her. She's got copies of them. I mean, it's strange, you know, someone bringing educational certificate CVs coming for a holiday. At her age, 41, she's too old to get a working holidaymaker visa to come here through that channel. I haven't looked at her qualifications exactly, but you know, we've got the new points-based system, so maybe she doesn't qualify for the points to get the right work permits to come over. So, you know, they're left with no other option but to come and seek entry as a visitor and then work illegally. And can I ask you what this is? What's this?
It's a CV that I use how I get working. This is how I send to my employers. This goes electronically.
Whose CV is it?
Mine, Robin Cameron's.
Why are you bringing them with you?
They're always in my laptop. They're always there.
They're always there?
They're always in my bag, yeah.
So many copies? You've got about 25 copies of your covering letter.
Yeah.
And there must be maybe the same amount of CVs.
Yeah. When I'm looking for work, that's what I send them. Always looking for work, but you always get bits and pieces.
You're always looking for work?
Yeah.
Why are you carrying your chef knives with you?
Because I'm going to cook some food for my friends while I'm here. I take them everywhere I go.
Can you not use their knives to cook food?
No, because they're blunt. You always cut. No.
Why not?
No, because people. I can't.
Because you're only going to cook for friends. How many friends do you have here? You have.
Yeah, but even when I'm at home in Sydney,
you have an uncle.
To people's house.
Yeah, you have an uncle to cook for.
Yeah.
And you have Julie to cook for, and another. Yeah. So there's 3 people.
I don't like using anyone else's knives. It's a personal thing that I've had my own knives. People's knives are normally blunt.
Okay. I mean, looking at what we've looked at so far, everything suggests to me that you're coming to the United Kingdom to seek and take employment here.
But I can't. I can't get a working visa here.
Yeah.
No, I can't work here.
But no, everything suggests to me that you are, because, I mean, why else would somebody carry a CV with them? You have 3 friends here.
Yeah.
and you've bought your chef knives to cook for them.
But if you could understand what it's...
I do but
the chefs are like...
you're not cooking, unless you plan to cook in a professional kitchen, you don't need to bring your knives with you.
If I go to my dad's house, I take my knives. If I go to anyone's house to cook for them, I take my knives.
So do you have any intention of working here?
No, I don't.
Okay.
What does she say about the knives and the certificates?
Well, certificates, she said, well, she always carries them around with her wherever she goes. She's always looking for work. I said, you're always looking for work. Are you planning to work here? No, I'm not planning to work here.
I don't buy this thing about taking your chef's knives everywhere you go. And you don't take your certificate.
No, you
When
don't.
did you last take yours on holiday?
No, and it's not just one. There's a few copies of each. It's not just like, you know, she's got different coloured one. Here we go. This is her CV.
her?
That's her, yeah.
No, she's looking for work, isn't
Oh,
she?
she's definitely looking for work, yeah.
No, sorry.
I've checked RDs. There's a flight out tonight at 2100 or something.
Fitting well?
Yeah, she's fitting well. This is for you, your reasons for refusal. This also gives you your flight that you're going back on. So you're going on the EY to Abu Dhabi, connecting on all the way to Sydney tonight.
Okay.
Okay? Your passport and stuff will be held with us. When you board the flight, my colleagues who will escort you to your flight will then hand the passport on to the cabin crew, who will then give it to you when you land.
There's nothing I can do?
Unfortunately not, no.
This is so wrong. I've worked my ass off to get here. I'm a chef. I make $25 an hour in Sydney. I've worked that hard. Look, you've read my diary. You've been through everything. I'm not here to work.
Okay. Well, everything that you've brought with you suggests that you are here and your intentions are to seek employment here in the United Kingdom.
You can keep all that.
No, that's not going to stop.
No, I just grabbed my laptop. My laptop had recipes in it.
She didn't take it too well. She'd spent a lot of money. I mean, it didn't seem as if she had limited funds to her anyway. Now, you know, someone wouldn't spend all that money to come here just for a trip if they didn't have it. I mean, there must have been more intentions to her coming here, like to work, so she could earn some more money. So I think that was the right decision.
I've worked my ass off for the last 6 months to come to this country to have a holiday. I brought my knives, I'm a chef, I'm going to cook for my friends, and they've refused me entry into this country. It's just so wrong. You know, he wants me to bring my family. My family just had the biggest party for me to leave yesterday, and now I've got to bring him with someone come home. I'm embarrassed and I'm upset. I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong except for trying to come to this country. Thanks.
An Australian man has been stopped at passport control. Chief Dyson hands the case over to immigration officer Brendan Bruce.
Australian male, 4 months holiday, single ticket, 3,500 Australian dollars, which is what, 1,500 quid?
1,500, 2,000, yes.
Going to stay with some friends in the UK. He also applied for the Youth Mobility Scheme, you know, the working holiday maker kind of thing, and was refused. He's basically been to the consulate, said, I want to live and work in the UK for at least a limited period. We've said no, doesn't have a job to go back to, doesn't have that much money.
Has his bags been done?
Don't believe they have.
Okay, we'll start with that. We'll go straight down and do that now.
The passenger has been stopped because the immigration team believes he doesn't have enough money for a 4-month holiday. That, and just 3 weeks ago, he was refused a UK work permit.
I'm going to take you downstairs now for a baggage inspection. We're going to go straight down. Do you
He'll have to
any
convince
bags with
Officer
you?
Bruce that he's not
Okay,
here
let me
to
put that one
work.
back.
A bag search may help the officer find any evidence of the man's intentions for his trip to Britain.
Did you pack in a hurry?
Yes.
The passenger seems nervous.
Try to relax. Try to relax. You're going tense.
Officer Bruce finds a mask, which may or may not be work-related.
You're looking nervous.
This man is carrying some strange clothes. But are they a concern for immigration? This document might be.
I found a letter of sorts, or a contract. It says a contract between master and slave. This contract has between the master and the slave. This contract is made with the full legal consent of both parties. The slave must learn to desire what the master wants. Signed by the passenger as the slave, dated the 5th of June 2008. That is not an employment contract as I would see it. So it's just, I think, a bit of interesting reading.
Officer Bruce is content the passenger's contract is not a sign of employment. But he still has concerns about the passenger's funds.
Okay, I'm going to go and interview the gentleman now. Mr. Goff?
The immigration interview gives Officer Bruce a chance to find out about the passenger's trip and the items in his bag.
Okay, the equipment you have in your bag, if you're coming here for a short holiday, why do you have all of that with you? Your clothing, your fetish clothing.
Why?
Fetish clothing.
I intend to hopefully use it whilst I'm here.
Okay, you have a contract with your master. Where is your master currently?
I have no idea.
Will you receive any form of cash payment for using your equipment?
Absolutely not.
Okay, what do you have to return to in Australia?
Okay, I have a couple of pets. Obviously all my friends and family are in Australia. My life is in Australia.
I don't believe he can afford to be here. He's got £1,500 to last, including paying for at least partial rent, food, whatever transport he intends to do, whatever things he intends to do while he's here. He just doesn't have the funds.
Officer Bruce will now consult his Chief Immigration Officer, Sarah Dyson.
Let's think about what he really needs to survive in the UK, in London. You know, even living on beans and jacket potatoes for 4 months, it doesn't really hang together. And we know that he wanted to work here because we've got the evidence. You know, he applied for that visa and got only refused 3 weeks ago, didn't he?
So I'm recommending refuse leave to enter and return him to his country. I just want to come outside. I just need to explain something to you.
Sure.
Okay. The situation is this. Due to your current circumstances, I'm not satisfied. You are going to be refused entry to the UK today. So would you prefer to go tonight or take a flight tomorrow?
Might as well be tonight.
His lack of funds makes the immigration team suspicious he's here to work. He's refused entry and sent back to Australia on the next available flight.
At Heathrow, Immigration Officer Hall has another case. She has stopped a 19-year-old Canadian who's also an online gaming fan.
He's coming here for 4 months to visit his girlfriend, who's a British national. By his own admission, he's got very limited funds, £900, 4 months. He doesn't have a credit card to back it up. Mr. Sacconi? Hello. My name's Bridget. I'm going to be dealing with your case today. £900, 4 months. Okay, even if you're staying at a friend's house, we all live in the UK, we know how expensive it can be. Anything could happen. He could need emergency treatment, who knows? You know, that £900 isn't going to go very far. Okay?
Thank you.
Is anyone meeting you today, sir?
Yes, my girlfriend should be here.
If you just look here for me. Now, your girlfriend's name Kira May. Is that Kira May is her first name or May is her surname? Like her family name? Okay. Right, let's go through to the interview room. Some of the questions may be quite probing. I don't want to upset you at all, but I have to get a really clear answer. So, how do you know your girlfriend?
I met her online playing a computer game.
When was this?
I originally met her about a year ago.
And we're talking online, we're not talking face-to-face at that point. Okay. Have you ever met your girlfriend in person? No.
First time today, hopefully.
Officer Hall is concerned that if things go well for the Canadian and his girlfriend, he may be tempted to stay on in the UK. Perhaps a call to his girlfriend will set things straight.
Hello, can I speak to Kira May, please? You are expecting him today, are you? Okay. Can I just ask, how do you know him? How long ago? So you'd say that you've known Glenn for a total of 4 or 5 weeks, yeah? No longer than that? Because he actually told me he'd met you a year ago. Well, obviously, we're not sure whether we're going to allow him into the UK at this moment in time. I'm going to have to go back to him and just, obviously put that discrepancy to him. Is there, are you going to be contactable on this number again? Because I think he may want to speak to you. Okay. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you. Bye-bye. It's a man. It's a man. Yeah, that was a man. I said, can I speak to Kira? Yeah, that's me. Now, unless she's got a really sore throat, that's a man.
As Officer Hall now knows the passenger's internet girlfriend is male and the two have never met, she must tread carefully if the news is not to come as a shock.
Have you spoken to your sponsor on the phone at all?
It's always been online.
This is going to sound like a mad question. Bear with me, okay? What sex is your sponsor?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you said girlfriend.
She's a girlfriend. She's...
Oh, God, so you could have saved me lots of time, sir.
Yeah,
we don't have a problem with people having boyfriends at all.
No, it's... well...
So I was concerned then. I thought you didn't know.
No, I know.
Okay.
Complicated.
Right. Now, we have a little problem.
Okay.
Your sponsor told me you had only met 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. As a relationship, yeah.
Well, online. He said online.
Really?
That they met, yeah. So you're saying as a relationship, yes, but...
I swear I've known him longer than that, through the game.
Officer Hall is still concerned about the man's limited funds, but the passenger claims he'll get help from his girlfriend's mother.
I have to be sure, again, that he's going to leave when he says he will, and without speaking to the sponsor's mum and knowing that she's happy for him to be here, she's happy to support them financially. You know, it's all second-hand information. Oh, hello. Hi. How do you know Glenn, please? The amount of money he has available to him, which is rather limited given the time he wants to stay. I'm just wondering, I mean, if it came to it, would you be in a position where you would be able to support him financially? Right. Can I just...
The mother's willingness to help the passenger financially could be enough to convince Officer Hall to grant entry. But first, she must run it by her boss.
Shortly. Okay, bye. I need to speak to you, Matt. That was the mum.
Sponsor's mum.
Sponsor's mum. She's known about this all along. She's more than happy to support him whilst he's here. I want to land him.
You do?
I do. Initially, no. You know what? I thought it was a refusal, but I've spoken to everybody involved now. I cannot, in good faith, refuse this man when I think that I tend to agree with him and I think he will go home.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Landing then.
Brilliant, thank you. So now I have the happy task of letting my passenger out on his holiday. I'm going to allow you in for your holiday. Perfect. The only proviso is I have landed you, so I've put a stamp in your passport until the date of your return ticket.
Perfect.
So you have to leave on or before this date.
Okay.